Neopian lore, what we got in store. Talking about the things that we love and adore. We're all over 20, right? We stay indoors and play this game. And love this game. Sometimes hate this game. But let's all talk about Neopian lore. Yeah! Woohoo!
Welcome to episode 32 of Neopian Lore on the Money Tree, the crown jewel of Neopia Central. I'll try to be as accurate as possible and attempt to pronounce all names correctly, but keep in mind, this world is fictional and this is all just for fun. I'm your host, Krista Boyman. Now let's cozy up to some nostalgia. Helping the needy, fending off the greedy has become the slogan of the Money Tree. It's the only place where Neopians donate gifts and Neopoints so that others who are far more deprived can get a little help. If you wish to make a donation or see if there's anything going for free, then be sure to visit. But don't be too greedy, as the Money Tree will remember your face and give you less of a chance of picking something up, especially if you don't need it. Oh, and don't even try the "it's for my friend" excuse. The Money Tree has heard them all. You can visit the Money Tree daily and take 10 items. Simply click on the item you want, and if you're fast enough, you get to take it home. If not, you'll receive the heartbreaking message of, "Oops, too late. Somebody seems to have taken that item while you were pondering," accompanied by a sad little yellow Akara. Confusingly, you will also see this message if you've already gathered your daily 10 items from any donation place. So the second-hand shop, where donated non-Neocash wearable items are routed, and Rubbish Dump, all items found there are computer-generated, are also included. I do hope someday they will have a different message, like, "The Money Tree swats you away with its giant branches and says, 'Don't be greedy, we need to support the needy.'" It would alleviate some confusion and add some personality. The majority of the Money Tree is, of course, junk. There's also some very lovely people who love to span pages and pages and pages and pages of junk. Y'all stink, by the way, though not nearly as bad as the people who take painted pets from the pound and use cheap morphing potions on them like the Strawberry Tuscanini. I say this kindly, but I hope y'all stub your pinky toe on some hard furniture. Occasionally, though, a kind Neopian will donate some big-ticket items. If you hang out on the Neopets subreddit, this happens quite often. Kind Neopians who do large Money Tree donations with paintbrushes, morphing potions, codestones, etc. It's fun to wait around for when the items finally make it through the queue. As the Money Tree only displays 20 items at a time, the rest are put in a queue until items are removed from the tree. So sometimes it can take hours before a donated item is shown. That said, a game I frequently play is choosing a random junk item I want to collect, for instance, one of my faves, old rotten shoes. Why? 1, they look like New Balances, the classic dad shoe, and those were, in fact, my dad's yardwork shoes. And 2, if you put the old rotten left shoe next to the old rotten right shoe, they make a pair. And it looks so funny to me. I'll stalk the Money Tree and wait for my prized junk items. It's fun, it cleans up the tree, and you'll actually feel a bit sad when someone steals your junk item. It's like the Cadotery, but on a budget. Neopoints will occasionally make an appearance from user donations, the wishing well, or pesky ghosts that forcibly steal your Neopoints to donate. You can only grab them if you have less than 20,000 Neopoints on hand. Bank and shop till do not count, so if the Money Tree gets flooded and you want to help clear it out, all you need to do is deposit your Neopoints into the bank. Neocash items will also appear anonymously when someone donates an item via an upcycle fortune cookie. As of now, when you purchase a cookie, standard price of 175 Neocash, for 4 days you will be asked to donate 2 to 4 old Neocash items. After doing so, you receive a very personalized fortune. Ooh, like, one of Neopian's trash is another Neopian's treasure. What wise and original words. And a prize, or if you're lucky, prizes, from a pool of items and anywhere from 25 to 150 Neocash. The items donated, though, don't appear in their original form at the money tree. There's a set pool, and personally, the only item I think that's cute is the pastel mushroom garland. Is the fortune cookie worth it? It's a gamble. I guess if you have a ton of junk items, perhaps ones you collected from the money tree. But honestly, I think if people want to donate their Neocash items, just like with Neopoint items, they should be able to do so. You shouldn't need to buy a cookie, and they should appear in the tree just as they are. If you want to gamble for a prize, okay, cool, buy a cookie. But there should also be a purely donation option. Just my 2 cents, pun intended. When nothing is at the tree, there's a message that the money tree ghost must have stolen all the items. You'll see an image of a very scary ghost Quiggle wrapped in bandages and chains. Ooh. Fun fact, the money tree ghost's original design was quite different. They looked like white Neopoint bags turned upside down with arms and a face. They're really cute. There is a random event where a money tree ghost will steal under 1,000 of your hard-earned Neopoints to then donate to the money tree. But why would they steal items from the money tree? Theory time! Where are the only other sentient trees located? The haunted woods. You've got the spooky trees, which are found throughout the land, but the true star of the haunted woods is the brain tree. The brain tree sits alone in the haunted woods. He is the only tree to have developed intelligence, and he thirsts for knowledge. If you accept his quest, he will ask you a question, your quest being to find the answer in a limited amount of time. It is said that the quests are very difficult, but worthwhile. Only tree to have developed intelligence. Whoa, 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 whoa! Our boy, the money tree, is also intelligent, very rude. Just because the brain tree can talk and the money tree can't does not mean he is smarter, but I digress. Perhaps the brain tree enlisted the ghost to help him in his quest in gaining knowledge. I could see him targeting books for himself and foods for the esophagus, as those two have a symbiotic relationship. But I don't think it's for some evil master plan, simply for the love of knowledge. Though there is one slightly concerning quote from the money tree. Beware, some wandering ghosts steal items for the money tree, and other ghosts will steal from the money tree itself for unknown, sinister purposes. The word sinister here is hyperlinked to the Gallery of Evil, so who knows what that's about. There is an image entitled Sloth's Master Plan, which is a blueprint with the money tree on it and other random characters like Hubert Knox and a dark fairy. I'm not exactly sure what the plan could be, it's kind of a jumbled mess, and this image was released in 2003, so I'm assuming Dr. Sloth abandoned this plan. The brain tree and money tree do in fact know each other and communicate, as quote from the editorial. Despite the fact that the brain tree and money tree aren't located in the same land, they actually have conversations quite often. The two of them can communicate with each other through a complex system of expansive roots underground that the brain tree has dubbed the Wood Wide Web. Although these communicative roots help ease the brain tree's thirst for knowledge, they have never been able to fully quench it, resulting in the brain tree relying on Neopets to gather knowledge for him on quests. I suppose that's because the trees are wooden conversationalists. This is a thing in real life too, known as mycorrhizal networks. That's a $500 word phrase. Trees share, using their connection with fungi, water, and nutrients, and communicate through mycorrhizal networks, such as during times of drought, disease, and insect attacks to keep the forest healthy. Wild stuff. I wonder if the other spooky trees also join in the conversation, though it isn't quite clear how many are sentient, as quote, "The haunted woods is a very unsettling place. Some trees are alive, some simply have creepy faces, and some seem like normal trees. However, this being the haunted woods, you're never really sure when something that really shouldn't be alive is suddenly going to lurch towards you. We recommend traveling the area with caution and avoiding the woods after dusk." We know the money tree is old. How old? Well, at least older than Neopia Central, so the city must have built itself around the tree. It's unclear how the old tree felt about it, as we've never heard him talk, but as he's serving the community, it seems he must at least be okay with it. And as established earlier, he does show displeasure towards the greedy, so we likely would know. The money tree is also fairly tall. Quote from the editorial, "The money tree has continued to grow slowly over time, so we sent out a helper to measure how tall it has gotten. According to their measurements, the tallest foliage of the money tree currently reaches up to just over 16 feet tall." A money tree is not unique to Neopia. In fact, many other games use a similar concept, such as Animal Crossing and Roblox. But money trees in themselves have a long history, many myths originating from ancient China. One folktale is about a sculptor named Zhu Men who saw some tumored tree roots and wishes to use them in his artwork. However, as he has no tools to cut down the tree, he devises a plan. He draws fake money and puts it on the tree's branches so the others will think the tree is sacred and leave it alone until he returns. When he does come back to the tree, to his surprise, there are people gathered around it as well as a spirit. The spirit says, quote, "Yes, you were the first one to post something on this tree, artificial money. Afterwards, others in this area noted the money and came to the conclusion that this was a holy tree. Many flocked here, hoping heaven would smile upon their lives, even if just a little. In time, the number of people grew and grew. 10 became hundreds, and hundreds became thousands. Soon the area was flooded by people, so many that the rulers of the netherworld sent me here to watch over the tree. So here I am. If you cut anything from this tree, you will be visited by calamity." The sculptor and the spirit strike a deal. Instead of taking the tree's roots, the spirit offers silk to Zhu Men. While a happy coincidence, I do think it's neat that the Neopian money tree has ghosts, some serving as protectors, just like in this folk story. There are several real plants attributed to being called money trees, though the most common houseplant is the Pachira aquatica. The nickname money tree derives from its supposed origin story, in which a poor man prayed for money, then found this odd-looking plant and saw it as an omen. He took it home and made money selling plants grown from its seeds. While in the wild, Pachira aquatica can grow to 18 meters or 60 feet, most money tree houseplants don't get taller than a few feet. The cool thing about it is when it's young, you can braid the trunk and it looks so cool. Many cultures regard it as a plant that brings good luck and harmony both in your life and in your home. One such example is the art of feng shui, in which you're supposed to place the money tree in the southeast corner of your house because that corner is to be ruled by greenery and wood. It would be super cool if a money tree was transplanted to the land of Shanku to honor the Chinese myths. And that may be possible, for there's an item called the miniature money tree, description, a little money tree to bring you a little bit of good luck, and a Neo Home item, Money Tree Jr. How did these little trees come to be? Who knows? Are they sentient? I mean, they have faces, so take that as you will. There are a few NPCs which supposedly donate specific items at specific times. Balthazar's Mega Fairy Giveaway Bonanza is where Balthazar donates 100 bottled fairies to the money tree at 7 a.m. Neopian Standard Time. There's also Health Frog Spectacular Vegetarian Food Giveaway, where healthy food are donated by Quentin the Frog, also at 7 a.m. On Sundays, the Loop Pack donates chocolates, primarily dark and white chocolate chias. Very clever, guys. And lastly, the coconut god Pango Pango might donate hundreds of exotic fruits at 10:45 a.m. and p.m. I say supposedly as I camped out at the money tree over the last few weeks during those time periods, but didn't see their items pop up. Not only did the loop pack not appear, but I missed a magical MSP plushie. That one hurt. Though I distinctly remember as a kid the money tree being flooded with bottled fairies from Balthazar, so I'm unsure if these are still active, if they don't donate every time, or how the queue works for NPCs. Maybe I wasn't patient enough and they were backlogged. So if you do happen to see these items at the money tree, please comment below, because I'm honestly really curious. That said, one that is for sure active is the Scamander Swarm. On October 12th, the Scamander-in-Chief donates the Pet Scamander, taking up most of the donation slots. Regular donations only pop up when one is snagged. Get it? Scamander-in-Chief? Commander-in-Chief? Good pun, good pun. It's not as easy as it sounds. Most times, these little lizards will squirm away. Quote, "It wriggles out of your hand, barely escaping through a hole in the floor. Better luck next time." But it is possible to catch one. Supposedly. Anecdotally, I have yet to catch one. But to up your chances in snagging one, instead of clicking on one window, instead choose a particular Scamander, hold down Control, or Command for you Apple users, while repeatedly clicking. This opens new tabs and is much faster. Why does this swarm happen? Well, the Lost Desert has their fair share of Scamander swarms. Maybe they just divert all the ones they've captured throughout the year and make it our problem. Who knows? The money tree will be featured in the upcoming 3D game, The World of Neopets, previously known as Neopets Meta. But since we're talking about the money tree, a place known for giving away things from the goodness of your heart, boy oh boy, let's talk about how the initial iteration of this game stood for everything the money tree is against. The trailer and gameplay videos of the game, I personally think look really neat. The 3D models of the Neopets are really cute. There's decorating your Neo home and customizing your pets, battling, mini games. It looks like the perfect blend of Webkinz and Pokemon. Sure, the graphics are very PS2, but it's charming and stylized enough that it makes sense for Neopets. The kicker, though, initially the game revolved around NFTs. Some of the higher-ups at the time wanted a slice of that crypto pie, but here's the thing. They didn't even inform all of the team. The official @Neopets account on Twitter called the metaverse an unaffiliated scam, so there's that. It seems the poor artists and coders had no clue what was happening. The NFTs were also images created using the fan site Dress to Impress. They just chose a random pet, put it in random clothing, slapped a chain of code on it, and called it good. Yikes. For the Neopets metagame, all assets needed to be turned into tokens that you bought with cryptocurrency, meaning a trip to the money tree and giant omelet would cost real money. Make that make sense. Both spellings, SENSE and CENTS. Luckily, on July 17th, 2023, with the new team, the NFT project and metaverse were considered dead, but they would use the assets from the game to create World of Neopets. Thank goodness the 3D rendered version of our boy the money tree can stand tall. Last little money tree tidbit, according to the item Holiday Decorated Money Tree Background, even the money tree is dolled up for the holidays. I would love for this to be implemented at Neopia Central. Can you imagine him all dapper in lights, ornaments, and a cute little Nova or Angel Puss on top? Ah, we can dream. Well, that's all for this episode of Neopian Lore. All characters and licensing belong to Neopets.com. Music was created by me, Krista. I hope you have a prosperous day in Neopia.